Whew, take a nice deep breath. So, gonna pull out the little bullet point here so I stay on track. In 3, 2. Are you marketing your Kindle ebook or your self-published books, but you seem to be running dry on funds? Are you wondering, man, can I actually market these self-published books without going broke? Well, good news. I'm going to show you all about marketing your Kindle ebook without going broke in 2019 in today's video, so make sure that you stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you want to learn more about publishing your own book and building your own brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn the bell notification on so you don't miss a single video. And this is a Wednesday night live broadcast. It's going to be a little bit different than some of the pre-recorded content. It's going to be a little bit more loose. If you want to join me for a very special live Q&A every Wednesday, you want to join me 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime, where I actually can cover any kind of questions, concerns, and comments as soon as I blaze through the content. And today's content, we're focused on marketing your self-published book without going broke in the year 2019 and hopefully beyond, because some of these concepts are pretty much evergreen, and you might have heard me recommend some of these things before, but I brought a few more things to the table, and I thought it was probably even better to kind of address who the problems are, where the problems occur for you as the indie author and the self-publisher. The common problems typically come down to, first of all, focus. The man who chases 2 rabbits gets none, is what the old proverb says. And this holds true. I find so many times that when it comes to marketing, people are just shotgunning. They're spraying and praying and hoping for the best, the hope marketing. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pump $50 in ads in one day on Facebook. And let me go ahead and, I heard that if I put my cost per click at $1.50, that I will be able to get first page placement and get some sales on Amazon advertising. Okay, take a deep breath. Pick one avenue, and you need to become a student of the game when it comes to marketing. So if you're spending money, you need to be extra focused. And don't expect to jump into any advertising and then just get magical results right out the rip, because it just doesn't happen that way, folks. It took me easily a year before I actually fully understood Amazon advertising. And now that I've got a good grasp, I'm starting to get some good traction and I'm able to scale it to a certain extent. You can too, but it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of grit. You're going to need to get through that, and it's going to require focus. Next thing is blind spending. Don't just throw things blindly. I'm just going to throw some money at this website because someone said it was good. Or I read this one article and it said if I spend $300 over on this service, it's going to work. Folks, no. Don't do that. Blindly spending and expecting to get some massive results just is not going to cut it. And what I would recommend is when it comes down to spending, okay, only spend money on marketing that you're willing to lose. Let me repeat that. If you've never done any kind of marketing and paid marketing or successful paid marketing for that matter, then there's a good chance that you're going to lose some money. So blindly spending, throwing money into it and going, well, it doesn't work, and walk away from it after you've done it for a month, 2 months, less than a year, well, of course it's not working. You're going to have to tweak some of these variables. The next thing is inconsistent. You notice I said we're jumping from one thing to the next to the next. You got to get good on being consistent. Consistency, showing up, is 80% of success. So you gotta show up on a consistent basis. Everybody sees that I have consistent videos shooting here on YouTube. I keep on uploading these things. I comment to people. I stay consistent with all these practices. It works the same across all walks of business, and marketing, it's definitely right there as well. All right, so and in scaling unproven concepts. Now I'm just gonna kind of focus more on your book. Let's say that it's not selling anything, all right? There's no amount of marketing in the world that's going to solve a broken book. And when I say a broken book, is the cover any good? Now, I don't mean if you just did do it yourself, like, oh, of course it's good. You know, my friend said it was good, or I had a few sales and they said it was good. you got to really get some peer review and get some people to reflect back on it. The next thing is your book description. Is it dialed in? And lastly, is your price point reasonable for the value proposition that you're putting within your book description? So I wanted to get these 4 common problems right out the way, because all of this stuff typically is the biggest problems I see. Some people are like, I'm just not selling books. I don't understand. I've done Amazon advertising. I've done Facebook ads. I've done this and I've done that. You have to really be focused, consistent, spend mindfully, and scale only once you've proven that that book's gonna sell. So here we go. Let's jump on into things. And honestly, I forgot how many tips I'm going to be doing today, but you're going to want to make sure you stick around to the end, because I've got a bonus tip. And this bonus tip is going to send your eyebrows, and you ready for this? It's my favorite cost, free. Yeah, baby, free. So without any further ado, let's start it out with cheap promo number 1. When I mean cheap promo, some of these things won't cost you a dime. That's my favorite cost. Free book promo sites. Now, just to be clear, there are free book promo sites that will promote your book that's on a free promotion on KDP. It's kind of like Inception. But with the free book promo sites, there are actually numerous other ones that will just promote your book for free. And typically how they make the money is they typically have links out to your title that are Amazon associate links. And so they'll promote it on their website and such. If you would like a full list, and unfortunately I don't have a link to this, you'll probably have to just Google search it. Tom Corson Knowles, a former guest here at the show, and pretty much a legendary figure here in the self-publishing business. He actually has a site called TCK Publishing. That's Tom Corson Knowles Publishing. Take a look, search it up, TCK Publishing free book promo sites. And he has a full list, and he actually updated it not too long ago. And I use this quite a bit when I first started into the business. Some of them work, some of them don't. I just recommend, if you're looking at trying to be a spendthrift and find the most cost-effective ways of doing things, then chances are likely either A, you could spend time vetting it out yourself, going through each one of these sites, putting some book promos through them, or B, you can even hire a virtual assistant to do it on your behalf. That way you don't have to spend, say, hours doing that, and you could probably be spending hours writing your next book. So free promotional sites, take a look. Again, that's underneath tckpublishing.com. And if you happen to get in touch with Tom Corson Knowles, tell him what's up. All right, next one. This is my favorite one. If you aren't doing Facebook groups right now, stop sleeping, wake up. This is one of the most effective ways to promote your self-publishing brand. In fact, former guest here of the show, 2-time guest, and also one of the guest expert speakers on the DIY publishing course available at DIYpublishing.biz, Scott J. Marshall II, is living proof of the effectiveness of Facebook groups when it comes to a great book launch and marketing. And he actually has a book based on his niche topic of raw dog feeding. And he built enough hype over the course of just 1 month and a group of nearly 20,000 members that he grew over a year time. I think he's up to 23 or 24,000 members. And he was able to launch not only his ebook, but his print book into bestseller status. And we're not talking like these really niche down like things where he sells one book and gets bestseller. No, he was at the top, the upper echelon. And unfortunately, it eludes my mind right now as far as to what the actual rank was. But nonetheless, Scott crushed it. And that was through the power of Facebook groups. So I would recommend, first of all, A, look for any Facebook groups that are in your niche. That's going to be one. You're going to need to build some relationships in there. And you're going to get to know people before you start beating them up with your book offers. That's one of the worst ways to go about it. Always deliver value, because when you deliver value and feel concerned about helping other people, then it will be reciprocated without you ever even having to ask. Now, I would say you could go with that path of least resistance to the niche groups that are already set up. Might I recommend that you take a look at setting up your own Facebook group? And there's actually the Scott J. Marshall II video here on this channel. He does an entire hour where he showed you how he set up the self-publishing books group. And that group is stellar, by the way. And Facebook groups, you honestly don't need to spend any money on this. It has wonderful organic reach if you can get it to where you're having the community grow, build, thrive. And the nice thing is when you get ready to do a book launch in your group, well, guess what? All bets are off. It's your Facebook group, so you can promote your book all you want. Cheap, effective, and here's the cool thing is if you've built enough value there within that community, they're gonna go, well, of course I'm gonna go get your book. It's a no-brainer. Cheap promo number 3, local libraries and bookstores. All right, so I've said this one numerous times, and I feel like it's important that we go back to the well. Libraries are still super beneficial to your author brand. Anything local within your community is one of the easiest ways to set up a grassroots campaign that will start to set fire to the world, to where people start to know who you are as an author. And it all starts with a simple step into your local library and getting to meet the management there and the people that are, hey, I'm an indie author and I would like to know what can I do to better service the library here. And also, while I have your attention, I've got a few books that I would like to contribute or suggest. There are some libraries that actually have grants specifically for spending on actual books that are local for indie authors. So you want to kind of look around. You don't want to go in there and try to bully your librarian and say, well, you got grant money, go buy my books. Be cool. Again, be of service. The bookstores one, this is an interesting one. I want to give a big shout out to my brother channel, that is K Wheeler Books, Keith Wheeler Books, if you will. Keith Wheeler actually he defied the odds. And what he did was he approached local bookstores with his books that had an Amazon assigned imprint. That means that he used their ISBN that Amazon gave for free. He was able to stock them in the local bookstores. How did he do that? Well, Keith's not a magician. He just simply went in there, introduced himself, met the management, and was able to broker a deal that put his books on the shelf, and it didn't cost him a dime. Now, what he worked out as far as the consignment goes, that's probably something you'll have to go visit Keith Wheeler Books about. But nonetheless, local libraries and bookstores, cheap, easy. Book promo number 5. You're watching it right now. The value of video is growing incrementally by the minute. And there was some random stat that I heard Owen Video say once at a Merch by Amazon conference in Seattle this past year. I think the actual stat was 80% of all online traffic is derived through video content consumption. This means that 8 out of every 10 people, that's easy for me to say, 8 out of 10 people that are online right now are consuming video content. That's nuts. That's crazy. And so get yourself ahead of the pack. Now, some of you fiction writers are going to go, but Dale, that's easy for a nonfiction person like you. Yeah, for sure. I can go do some fitness videos or things on self-publishing. Or if I'm a self-help person, I can put out self-help videos. But fiction authors, how can they do it? Believe it or not, there are quite a few fiction authors that are crushing it. Jenna Moresi is an excellent example of someone who is just annihilating it when it comes to being a fiction author. You just have to think yourself through the process of how can I get myself on here. Couple of viable avenues, of course, is YouTube. It's free to upload content, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. Okay, everything, including keyword research, niche research, as well as title choice, subtitle choice, channel name, descriptions, it parallels everything we do in self-publishing. And all you have to do is just connect the dots and go, oh, that's it. So it's just going to be something simple. And for those of you that are on the fence kind of going, I'm not really sure if video's for me, I don't want to be on a camera, that's okay. Shoot. Something that I would like to give a big shout out to Ann Manera. Ann Manera actually is a coloring book artist, and she puts together her own coloring books, and she live streams on Facebook to a devoted, hungry following. They love her content. They buy her books. She's a prime example of how you can really do this. And here's the cool thing. No one ever sees Ann. They only see Ann's hands because she's typically working right below her mobile device. She's typically drawing on something and they can just only hear her. She did a reveal one time, showed herself on camera. People were like, oh, okay. they were kind of thrown off, but you can see how you have no excuse at this point. Just get it done, get into video. It's not going to be perfect, trust me. My first videos weren't all the greatest. They were pretty bad, they're cringeworthy. And I'm not the greatest right now at doing what I do, but I'm certainly getting better as I go along. So I encourage fiction and nonfiction author, as well as any self-publishers out there altogether, consider a YouTube channel or even Twitch. Twitch is another excellent avenue, so take a look at those. Cheap promo number 6, interviews and appearances. There are podcasts, YouTube channels, Facebook business pages, as well as groups. If you are willing to step just a little bit outside your comfort zone and approach people, you're going to find real quick that these show hosts are looking for guests. Because if they get guests, you know what ends up happening? They don't need to produce content on the regular. All they got to do is bring someone in and they're going to chat it up. It's just, this is probably one of the easiest ways for you to get out, and you just need to approach somebody and come at it from a value-based perspective. Don't just go in there and say, well, my niche is Werebear Shapeshifter, and you've got the Werebear Shapeshifting podcast, so book me. Obviously, they're going to be put off. They're going to be like, no, I don't know who you are. You need to first of all step forward and say, okay, I tell you what, I've been building this particular brand here for the past 3 years. I've got an email list of 2,000 subscribers that are very active. I have a Facebook group that has 10,000 members. I'm going to do my best to promote an appearance on your podcast. I would love it if you would have me on for an interview where I can discuss my recent release of The Werebear Shapeshifter Strikes Again. So you see how simple that is? It's just approaching them. Chances are very likely you're going to get a lot of no's at first, but eventually you're going to get that breakthrough of a yes. So really, I just implore you that you keep asking for these things, and it's going to take some time. And eventually, here's the cool thing, is the more appearances that you have on a podcast, on a YouTube channel, maybe even a guest blog post of some sort, you will have assets that you can come to the table with. So when you approach, say, a podcast or a YouTube channel, you say, I have appeared X, Y, and Z, and give them links to each one of those things so they know that, first of all, you're a guest that's reliable, that can speak for yourself, is articulate, that can share something that their audience is going to want. It's going to seem nerve-wracking at first. If you haven't done an interview before, you're going to probably either A, get really nervous about it, or B, you might start to speak really, really fast. Ask my brother about that. We did an interview not too long ago, and guy was a mile a minute. But either way, he definitely took the bull by the horns, and he did that interview. So this is the easiest way that you can just literally go onto a podcast, and you just are promoting your next book. Hey, what's happening? I'm Darren Powis. My really recent book is called Whalians, and I definitely would love to talk to you more about this. Could be like a science fiction one. Also, kind of going back just a little bit, is you really, what it comes down to is networking. Folks, networking, meetups, conferences, collabs, and masterminds. The more people you know, the more you start to chat with other people, the more your brand's going to grow. I try to work with as many people as I possibly can. You guys have seen the number of people I've had here on the channel, including the likes of Chris Fox, Michael Laron, Johnny Andrews, so many names, and even people like Riley Morrison, or even book editor James Ranson. They've come on here, and these are networking opportunities. And here's the cool thing: by me working with some of them, that's actually afforded me opportunities beyond this YouTube channel. So think about that for just a second when it comes to your interviews and appearances, and kind of tying it back into the actual video end of things. But I do have what I like to call, and I almost did it too soon, the bonus tip. So today's bonus tip. All right, so this one's actually a free one. I really kind of like this feature. Wondering about where you can go for podcasts. Now, one of the recommendations I would say is, whatever your niche is, just type it in. So let's just say, for instance, you're a herbal gardener. You just type in Herbal Gardener podcast, Herbal Gardener YouTube channel, Herbal Gardener blogger. And any type of things you bring up, you can be able to find them so much quicker, and just do your due diligence. Make sure it's a good fit. But the easiest way to do things, podcastguests.com. Now, I'm not being, paid to say this. I have no working relationship with podcastguests.com. I've just had the experience of actually getting quite a few podcast appearances through this service. And they have a premium service and they have a free service. I use the premium service, and I got to admit to you, I probably did it for 3-4 months. I didn't see any difference versus using the free one. The free one, they send out an email newsletter every Monday. They never spam you. They don't send a bunch of extra things. It's always like every Monday they send out something to where they have guests that are looking for podcasts. So if you're going to be doing a podcast or YouTube channel, you can get guests rather easily. And they also have podcasts featured every week. And it's typically about a half dozen or more podcasts. And not every newsletter is going to be applicable to you. You're going to look at something and go, that's it, and you just delete it, get rid of it. But every now and numbers, I need to make sure it's a good fit before we go any further. All right, here we go. And I'm going to see about doing it. Here we go, pausing. Now that you have some of these more cost-effective, why am I doing this? Sorry, folks.